Let's continue with our last unique row, which is either row 19 or 23, depending on which row you are on. This is how the project looks like after having knitted 18 rows of pattern 2. As you can see, we're on our second repetition of pattern 2, so 1 times the pattern 2 has already been completed. Row 19 and especially row 23 will be our last row where we are gonna have to knit some cable patterns. So this is another very exciting rows before we just repeat normal rows where we basically just knit the knits and purl the purls. So to begin, first do your garter edge and the stockinette stitches in your size, and then we will get into pattern 2. So yarn over, and the first 2 stitches will be purl stitches. So purl 1 and then purl 2. The next sequence will already be a cable, so it will be a C4B cable. Grab your cable needle and put the first 2 stitches from your left needle onto your cable needle or onto a third needle and put this into the back of your project. Then make sure to yarn over into a knitting position and just knit off the next 2 stitches off of your left needle like you would normally knit. Once you knitted those 2, you can transfer back the 2 stitches that you were saving on the cable needle and put those back onto your left needle. So just pick those 2 stitches up, and once you transfer them, you will then just knit those 2 stitches that you just transferred off of your left needle. So just make sure that nothing slips off, and then knit the first knit stitch and then the second knit stitch. So this is our first cable. This is basically the nice spiraling pillar framing pattern 2. Let's continue with the next sequence. So first yarn over and then start purling the next 2 stitches. So purl 1 and then purl 2. And then make sure to yarn over again in order to knit the next 4 stitches. So knit 1, knit 2, knit 3 and knit 4, and then yarn over again in order to purl the next 2 stitches. So just purl 1 and then purl 2, and then we can continue with our next sequence, which will be another cable, this time a C4F cable. So put the first 2 stitches onto your cable needle and put those in front of your work. Now we will knit the next 2 stitches off of our left needle. So knit 1 and then knit 2. And once you got those, you will transfer back the 2 stitches that we were saving on our cable needle, and we will put them onto our left needle. Now you will just knit those 2 stitches off of your left needle like you would normally knit stitch. So knit 1 and then knit 2. And then you have also completed this second cable pattern. So this is another of those spirals. And now we continue with our next sequence, which is first purling 2. So purl 1 and then purl 2. And then our center 8 stitches, we will simply knit stitch. So knit 1 and then knit 2, knit 3, knit 4, knit 5, knit 6, knit 7, and knit 8. And now just do 2 more purl stitches. So yarn over again, and then you will purl 1 and then purl 2. And now we immediately have another C4B cable coming up. So grab your cable needle and put the first 2 stitches from your left needle onto your cable needle and shove that into the back of your project. So get into a good position and then just knit the next 2 stitches off of your left needle. So knit 1 and then knit the second one. And once you got those 2 stitches, you can then transfer the 2 stitches that we were saving on our cable needle back onto our left needle. And once they are there, you can just knit those 2 stitches off as well. So knit 1 and then knit 2. And with that, you have completed the C4B cable, which is our third cable in this row. And now we just proceed with the next sequence. So let's yarn over to purl 1, then purl 2, and then yarn over again in order to knit the next 4. So knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, and knit 4. And now we can just yarn over once more in order to purl the next 2. So purl 1 and then purl 2. And after that, we have our last cable of this row, which will be a C4F cable. So just get the first 2 stitches from your left needle onto your cable needle and save those 2 stitches in front of your work. Now we will, as usual, knit the next 2 stitches off of our left needle. So knit 1 and then knit 2. Now you can transfer back the 2 saved stitches from your cable needle onto your left needle. So just get those to your left needle, and once they are there, you can then just knit those 2 stitches off of your left needle. So knit 1 and then knit 2. So this is what we got. Now just finish your last 2 stitches of pattern 2, being 2 purl stitches. So purl 1 and then purl 2. And now you have completed pattern 2 of this row. So this is what it looks like after having completed row 19. You can see all the nice cables that we have been creating. And now the only thing you need to complete is your stockinette stitches and the garter edge in your size. So this is how it looks like after completing the stockinette section as well, along with the garter edge stitch. And now, if you want to know how to knit the next rows, just continue with my next videos, which are part 10, 11, and 13 of this series. So just check those out and follow along to know exactly how to proceed. This is how your piece will look like after completing 2 repetitions of pattern 2. So you can see all the completed rows here, and then just repeat pattern 2 just as many times as you need in order to complete the entire length for your size. So this is after having completed 3 repetitions of pattern 2. You can see how beautifully it intertwines with all those cables. And also remember to check when your piece requires you to bind off for the armholes. I will make sure to post another tutorial for that. For me in particular, it was after 44 centimeters for size L. So just keep an eye on that so you don't forget. Here after the 3 repetitions, I was still not reaching that point yet, but here you can see that I was reaching 44 centimeters, which was somewhere in the 4th repetition. So after the 4th repetition, this is what it looked like with the armholes already being bound off. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, I would be happy if you like and subscribe, and see you next time.